Hey everyone. Alright, so today I've decided I'm going to start a stretching series with you all. And basically I'm going to do the series like intermittently, so it's not going to be like a week-to-week thing, kind of like the So What You Do series. Actually, that will be ending pretty soon. But I figured the stretching series would actually be really, really helpful. And it's aptly named, kind of after like our general aches and pains that we have. So first thing I want to tell you what this video is for and what this video is not for. This video is for those aches and pains that are intermittent, that are not sharp, piercing, really bad pains that are brought on by an injury, pains that honestly should be looked at by the doctor. These are for like those aches and pains that are more based on like stiffness, tight muscles, maybe like a little bit of like an old ache that sometimes bothers you. It's for that kind of pain, okay? So I just want to put that out there right away, just because, I don't want, for liability's sake, let's just come out and say it. So any of like my advice, any of my videos, none of them are meant to treat, prevent, cure, diagnose any kind of illness or injury, all that kind of stuff. So basically what I wanted to get into first was my favorite one, hips. So the reason why I want to start with this one is it's actually a problem for a lot of people. A lot of us sit down for a good portion of the day, whether it's for work or at home. So we end up with really tight hip flexors. Okay, so what are hip flexors? Basically the area right here, okay, kind of right at the fold of our leg and our hip, or our leg and our torso actually. That's your hip flexor. Alright, and that's an area that can get very tight, very shortened, because we're sitting like this all the time and we're not in an extended position for as long as our bodies are meant to be. So we can wind up with issues down the road. And let's be honest, none of us are getting any younger, so let's treat our bodies right and get them conditioned so that when we are considered old, and when we are considered senior citizens, we're a lot more mobile and a lot more strong with the better quality of life. Start now. It's a great idea. Alright, so today I'm actually going to go through some of my favorite hip flexor exercises. Actually, I'm wearing a belly button shirt. I had a nice rehearsal yesterday. It was a lot of fun. And actually, I had hip pain throughout a good portion of it, but I actually did stretches at work and got through while I was teaching, and actually got through the rehearsal just fine, mainly because I was doing hip stretches that I know help this kind of thing. So, without further ado, let's give them a try. A really nice, easy one is actually what we like to call a 90-90 stretch, okay? So this one is kind of crazy because it's a little bit tackling the issue at different angles. What I'm doing here is I have this leg, one of your legs, your front leg, at a 90-degree angle, and then the other one, your back leg, is also at a 90-degree angle. You can feel the stretch on the hip that you're not really sitting on, right here, okay? And you can feel it like kind of towards the middle back, like on the side of the glute, lower part of the glute, okay? And it feels really, really good. So another thing about stretches, and I'm going to say this for every video, but I'm going to kind of introduce this technique right now, is for stretches, unlike yoga, though I'll bet some yoga teachers actually do go through this, I like to use breathing with stretching, like really like metered breathing type of technique. So where you go in for 4 slow counts and then out for 4 slow counts. Those of you who did the challenge with me, that was actually part of our little self-care exercise, was learning how to do calming, slowing breathing just to help with stress. So for stretches, it works really well because at the bottom of your exhalation, you should actually be able to get deeper in the stretch. So for each of these stretches, we're going to breathe for 4 and out for 4. So if you're doing this along with me, or if you go back and do it later, you can actually try this right along with me. I'm going to count rather than actually do the breathing into the stretches, but I will kind of be able to lean into it for each one. And this side is getting a little extra treatment, which is fine. Okay, so in for 4. 2, 3, 4, and out. 2, 3, and stretch more. In, 2, 3, 4, and out. 2, 3, 4. In, 2, 3, 4, and out. 2, 3, 4. We'll do one more. In, 2, 3, 4, and out. 2, 3, 4. So I was able to get into the stretch more. I actually sitting up more. I don't know if you saw that as we were going. Okay, I gotta go the other direction now. That was the achy hip. I did it first. Okay, there we go. It's feeling better now. Okay. All right. So now you got another view of how this one goes. So 90-degree angle here and 90-degree angle here. Right? Yes. Okay. All right. Now in, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3. That actually worked. In, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3, 4. In, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3. I lost count. I think it's one more. In, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3, 4. Good. Okay, so next one we're going to do is this one here. Now, I do hip stretches a lot, so I got pretty flexible hips now. I've been working on correcting hip balance now for about 4 years or so. So, like, yeah, I can do some really weird things with flexibility in that regard. And I'm also working on splits. So, basically, try to stack your knees on top of each other. If it looks like this, that's fine. You're still going to be able to open up your hips just the same. You know, you do what's right for your body where it's at. You overreach it, you risk you have the risk of going backwards. So no, do what's gonna feel good for your body. This stretch should feel great. Okay. In order for me to make it feel great, though, I have to go here. Okay, here we go. In, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2. Try to lean forward, 4. In, 2, 3, 4. Don't round your back. 2, 3, 4. In, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4. And in, 2, 3, 4. And out, 2, 3, 4. I would say that feels pretty good. Okay, let's switch sides. All right, stack the knees, get yourself situated. Another thing to do is to take one of your hands that's anchoring you and pull this top leg back. Especially if you're like, oh, it's gonna fall down, then pull it back. Okay, get yourself situated, feel balance, feel your, one of my favorite instructors, she likes to call them butt bones. That made me laugh the first time, so I'm gonna use that one. Make sure your butt bones feel grounded on the floor, on the surface you're at. Okay, here we go. In, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3, 4. In, 2, 3, 4. Hinge forward from your hips. 2, 3, 4. In, 2, 3, 4. And out. 2, 3, 4. In, 2, 3, 4. And out. 2, 3, 4. Good. Okay. All right. Next one, we're going to do a butterfly stretch. Okay. So that's this one here. Okay, again, I had to pull it closer because this is where I'm going to feel an effective stretch. If your effective stretch is here, great. If your effective stretch is like here and you can still feel it in your hips, great. You do what's going to make this stretch feel good. You want it to feel like your hips are opening. You want to feel like things are loosening up. You don't want to feel that splitting pain stretch of something being stretched too far. It's not the point of this. This is to release your hip flexor muscles. All right, so actually this feels about good right now. This might actually be too much for today. Okay, so for this one, you're going to be able to see really what the breathing through each one is actually going to help you accomplish. All right, so for this, again, you hinge forward at the hips, not at the back like this, but forward, chest coming forward. This area coming forward. Okay, maybe I'll do a little more side profile here. Okay, here we go. And Elise comes to say hi. Okay, here we go. In, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3, 4. In, 2, don't knock that camera over, 3, 4, and out. I hinged forward, 2, 3, 4. In, 2, 3, 4. And out, 2, 3, 4. In, 2, 3, 4. And out, 2, 3, 4. In, 2, 3, 4, and out. 2, 3. We're going with a little bonus here. In, 2, 3, 4, and out. 2, 3, 4. And at that point, this is as far as I can go today. And it's important that you accept that certain days you're going to be more flexible than other days. Certain days you'll be able to get further down. Other days, you just won't, okay? Again, it's not the point of this type of exercise. The point of this type of exercise is to correct what may be tight, not to try to increase range of motion. That's a totally different approach, actually. Okay, you know what? So today, this is about right, because only further I'm rounding my back. It's not what I wanted to do. I want to open up my hips and focus on that, and that's why I'm not going all the way down today, even though I could probably push it, but again, not the point of this exercise. Okay, next one. So, this next one, you basically put your feet out in front of you, and you bring one ankle up. Actually, I'm going to do my left ankle first, for the reason that is feeling like the better choice. Ankle on top of the knee, okay? And then your arm, the same side as the one that's got the ankle up in the air. You take that arm and put it through, okay? And then you just try to interlock your hands. You should feel it right here, okay? So not really like the hips, but it's one of the hip supporting muscles. So it's important to try to cover the whole area, okay? So here we go. In, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3, 4. In, 2, 3, 4, and out. 2, 3, 4. I'm folding in, 2, 3, 4, and out. 2, 3, 4. In, 2, 3, 4, and out. 2, 3, 4. Yep, that one feels effective. All right, switch sides. Oh yeah, I can feel that for sure. Okay. And then arm goes through, interlock your hands around, bring your foot in to start to feel the opening of the stretch. Hello, foot. All right, here we go. In, 2, 3, 4, and out. 2, 3, 4. In, 2, 3, 4, and out. 2, 3, 4. In, 2, 3, 4, and out. 2, 3, 4. In, 2, 3, 4, and out. 2, 3, 4. Okay, good. All right, I think I'm going to give you just one more. And now this one, again, don't be intimidated. It took me a very, very long time to be able to actually get into this position. But this one, they're saying, is actually one of the most effective ways to actually open up like your entire hip region, like all the way around, all locations. It's called ball stretch, actually. And so basically what I'm doing is I'm sitting on my knees, on my ankles, on my lower shins, legs right now. And the objective, and again, it takes a while to be able to do this successfully if you haven't been. The objective is to get your whole front torso all the way over, okay? I used to think that I was too heavy, like too much in the stomach area to be able to get that. It wasn't that, actually. Like, even when I was, like, pretty overweight, I could still actually work on this one. What it was my hip flexors were so tight that it actually prevented my entire body from going over, okay? So once I became very aware of what it felt like to actually loosen up and release my hip flexor muscles, finally then I was able to fold over, okay? So if it feels like, oh no, that's impossible, check in with yourself. What's really holding you back, okay? Is it your size, or is it actually your hip flexor muscles? It's worth a try, it really is. Okay, so anyways, so for this one, I'm just gonna end up going over and over and over for each breath. So I'm gonna start it about right here, because it is gonna be my objective to get all the way to the floor. Okay, maybe today I'll do it, and if not, no big deal. I'm opening up my hip flexors. I'm not working on range of motion today. All right, okay, here we go. In, 2, 3, 4, and out. 2, 3, 4. In, 2, 3, 4, and out. 2, 3, 4. in, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3, 4, in, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3, 4, something correct, okay, and bingo, I'm down. A few years ago I could not do that, okay? It just takes time, but like a lot of it is just the conscious effort to loosen up, like right in here, okay? So important stuff, it really is. Alright, I wanted to cover just one more thing before ending today's video. This, if you don't know what it is a foam roller. And in my personal training course that I took to become a certified personal trainer, they really, really stressed what they call SMR, which is self-myofascial release. Basically what it is there's like a layer of, it's like a layer of muscle that's really right below the skin. It's kind of like the superficial layer of muscle, not a deep tissue type of muscle, that also can get really tense and stuff. And, oh my goodness, these kitty cats in there, like, what are you doing? Okay, what ends up happening is sometimes your achiness can actually come from that. Don't knock my camera over, Jenny cat. Okay, so, so basically what I'm going to show you is another way of dealing with a sore muscle. Oh my goodness. That is if the cat will get out of the way. Okay, so, the foam roller, I'm not actually going to roll it actively. I'm actually going to put the sore spot, which for me is right here, like literally right there, on the part that bulges out, like near the saddlebag area. I'm going to put that directly on the foam roller. They say that tennis balls work really well for this too. And I am just going to stay there. And I'll be honest, it hurts at first. It does. Okay? But what you want to do is you want to stay there past the pain. It takes 30 seconds. And what basically is happening is your nerves get excited while it hurts, and then it comes in, the system kicks in, and then what's happening is your nerves force the muscle to actually release. It's pretty amazing. Alright, and I'm almost to that point. I need to actually focus on it a little bit. I need to focus on relaxing into what I'm feeling. And we're just about there. Yep, pain's gone. Works like a charm every time because your body's actually built to do this. Alright. That's all I did. All I did was just lean on this roller, on the sore spot, and boom. 30 seconds later, pain is gone. And because I've done this a whole bunch of times, I can pretty much guarantee that's not going to hurt me for the rest of the day, and possibly for the next like few days. So the pain that I was experiencing, the old achy pain, you know, perhaps I aggravated a little bit during rehearsal, it's going to go away because of what I just did there. Now, I also did some very gentle stretches to kind of loosen things up and open things up first. I ended with this on purpose because it was like, to me, the last little bit. And now all the pain is gone. It feels really loose. Like real good, you know. So get in touch with yourself for a little bit about like where are those achy places on your body. Everybody's got them. Everybody's done something that has affected, you know, your muscles, not your joints. You don't want to mess with this with your joints, but it's like a sore spot in your muscles. That's what foam rolling, whether it's in the self-myofascial release or the actual rolling action, which is a different technique. You know, get in touch with yourself about that kind of thing. And you know, I'd like to actually cover that in this series as well as to what those techniques are. And we'll go over the SMR releasing again, you know, because it is important. I'm amazed at how effective it was, and I didn't even know about it until like a handful of months ago. So, alright, so hopefully some of this stuff was exciting to you. Come back to it. It's always going to be on Facebook, and it's also going to be in this vault that I'm working on to help organize all of my content. It's called the Strong Box. There will be some more information on that to come. So stay tuned and check that out. If you were watching some of this, or if you get the chance to come back to it later, or even down the road, if finally you get a chance to, you know, spend some time with this and work on these hip opening exercises, leave me a message. Tell me what you think. Tell me if it helped you. Okay, I'd love a little bit of feedback on this just to help improve this type of programming in the future. Okay, all right. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.